And even during the Furo, like I said, they had no CC EU. They didn't have the CC
Yeah.
to be able to like capitalize on a team that was going to go back and just give them space. Literally, they were able
Yeah.
to just sit back and absorb the pressure and just go back in at their own time. So
Software
very,
stuff
very
was
good
so
game
good.
management from NA there. Very good win.
Yeah, that was really nice. And the fact that they managed to pull that off with Azan Ruckus in a Corvus, like,
I
that's
mean,
really good. That's really
if you're gonna
impressive.
want it though, like if you just want to take everything away from them, dive or not, these are very good self-sustaining champions.
That's
So
true.
whether or not they can be in or out, they're just very good at just you know,
No,
if they
yeah.
have to be patient, they really can. It's only a
Mm,
problem where you're in a setup where you have to go and kill something. And like I
mm.
said, they didn't really have to. It was always in their best
Yeah.
interest just to have the point.
No, I can't help but feel like maybe you can look at draft a little bit if your crime's there though, because a lot of the reason, like you had the Fernando, right? You had the Fernando, you have double support. Like, how are you losing that objective? You have what should be the better point burn, and I think what you're looking at there is maybe the lack of an off tank. That Ruckus, maybe he wasn't going in, but like the adaptations for next game, like maybe you want something to match that Ruckus. Maybe you want your own way to pressure backline. Maybe something else is what you're looking for. Maybe there's a different map pick. Because I think at this point, your Leon did really well. Your DPS performed really well. But
Yes. And
I
speaking of next
think
game,
going into
yeah,
yeah,
I'm getting words that I think the next draft is ready. It's gonna be interesting to see how EU respond to this.
Jag. Jag Falls is interesting. I think it's similar to Shattered, right? Like you've got these two big lanes that go around the mid fight, right? It's not necessarily something like a Serpent Beach or a Bright Marsh where like there's one big lane that's like has some big high ground or some really good angles that you're just gonna control. These are very three-laned maps, right? And they're all pretty equal. Now Jag has the little intricacy of having dark room between the two of them and being a very flat map, so maybe that opens up a few more things for the. I mean, if anything, the controller DPS on NA is finest, but we're looking at a very similar map here again.
Yeah, I think where this map differs a bit is I think it's a very much indoor versus outdoor thing. Considering we've got blaster
Right.
usage here, right? You're gonna start to see the picks like the Willows, maybe a Drogo's if anyone's brave enough. I think we've seen a few
Seen a
Drogo's
few.
earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Willow on this
even
map.
if you have these outdoor things, right? You have a very good way to just hide inside. And if your comp does very good inside, none of that stuff tends to matter. So it'll be very interesting to see how they draft here. But as what we've seen
Yeah.
here, I think it's gonna be a bit more of a grounded draft, as we see with the first Lex pick.
Yeah. I think both teams are kind of getting what they want here. Because, I mean, the Nando for Crimes has been a staple pick. Ash is a
Hmm.
bit spicier. Damba's, I mean, looking for solo support. Maybe they didn't think the Grover Fury worked out. So Damba best to use in solo support. And his finest, they get their Azan pick, they get their controller DPS. So
Hmm.
already, like, I think both teams are getting what they want. Half Shell Koa. Now, this is a character who's kind of vanished a little bit. Definitely used to be a lot stronger than he was. Maybe just not his meta. And his finest thinks it can work, though. Good. It's a good matchup into the Ash. It's a really strong shield, so you're going to be forcing Wrecker buys, and both the tanks on Crimes that just have no damage.
Yeah,
So that's
I
going to
think
be tough, maybe.
Yeah, I think now in a meta where you have a lot of healing and yeah, you're gonna expect things to be a bit slow. What's gonna separate
The
two
hook.
teams is the ability to go in and actually finish off the job, right? Makoa
Mm,
is very good at like sitting in one place, but unless you're playing a bit of a Leviathan or you've got something behind him that enables him to speed, or he plays with something that can do that, I think not that he's bad, but he kind of loses his place over like a Rom or a Ruckus or a Zam.
yeah.
Those guys can go in and
Those
help
are
you finish
gone
the job.
now.
Yep. Yeah.
So Annie's finest looking maybe for a slower draft with the Lilith, but hey, that's a Eevee and a Vivian. This draft is Crimes' draft is really interesting. These drafts are. This is
Yeah.
really interesting. They're both kind of deathball-y. Like you've got the Ko and the Lilith, man. You can't play like those two are just. But you put the half shell on top of the swarm, and you just there's just
This
no
is it.
globe. Like you're fine.
Yeah.
The Ash and the Eevee though, maybe letting them break that deathball.
You know what I will mention, right? This is another situation of I don't think EU have calculated their ults again very much. Again, if you want to look
Mm,
at this again, we've got a Fernando support ult, That's one. Then we got
Right.
3 CC ults, 3 very heavy
Yeah.
CC ults. We got Eevee, we've got Damba, and we've got Ash.
No CC
And
from NA's
then
finest.
yeah, but we've only got as a damage ult, we've only got Vivian, where she's just gonna get her drones
That's
up
an
to do a
extra
bit more
ability,
damage.
man.
Yeah. So they've got CC. Whether or not they can actually finish the kills is gonna be another case now. I think they've gone on two extremes in these two games. They had no CC in one, and they've got a load of CC now. So it's gonna be interesting to see what EU can do here. I'll speak for EU for this one as an EU guy. You can speak for NA.
Yeah, I think the draft makes sense if you're NA's finest. Like, I don't care about the draft. We got our controller player on Lex. Like, let's call it a day. Like, we're done. So, that's the thought process, man. It's first rotation. You get the Lex is on. Guarantee they're already happy with this draft. You get the Lilith. I'm curious what kind of tire this will be, because it was Nade tire last game for like the DR stacking, right? But you're not into like a Ruckus is on again, right? You're into a Nando and an Ash. And Ash is scary, but nowhere near as scary as a Ruckus. So we might actually see Mark this game, which wouldn't surprise me super hard. Maybe, like, listen, man, Discovery Lux with the Tyra Mark is no, I don't want
Damage.
that.
Yep.
That
I
doesn't
think
sound fun.
that alone is making me lean towards NA's finest.
I
They
like that.
they have a lot of ways to sort of deal with that pressure. Yeah, the half shell definitely very good against the Ash. Where Ash can like just take a bit of space shooting around something, Makoa just completely denies that with a dome. I think that's going to be very good for them. Azan is going to obviously help support him there, and Lilith I'm seeing is very, 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 very strong. So yeah, I'm very much leaning towards NA's finest. How about you?
I like the draft. I like the draft, but it does appear that once again we got the names switched up, which is fine. But we're going into this. The hook onto the Ash instantly there. And, okay, well she's just gone, I guess.
Yep, there you go.
She's just gone. I forget about draft, man. Let's not forget that Koa has the hook ability. That's a kill in a fight.
Very big one. Yep. I should mention as well, like, as long as NA's finest play it well, they have a load of ways to actually live. They've got a load of second lives. They've got Damba to help that. They've got Fernando and Shield and ult. They've got Ash and ult as well. They have a load of second lives. If they can utilize them well, I think they've got a very good chance.
We do.
Oh.
Now we're gonna run to a quick pause once again here while we will be fixing the names for you. As I frankly don't feel like being confused for the next 20 minutes. I don't think that's a fun time.
I mean, on
But-
the plus side, our names are correct, right? This time.
Right?
Yep.
Are they? I don't have a. Okay, good. I'm
Yes.
not British. Let's go.
British.
It's always a win in my book, but we're gonna have to see if NA's finest can pull out a win, as it does seem like we are ready to get back in the game. And
Yeah.
we do have yet
Yep,
another hook
yep,
on the
let's
Ash.
go. Here we go. Okay.
The dash out.
Oh, there's a trade here.
Notice the Tyra. Okay. Okay, the Vivian. I feel like we haven't talked about the Vivian enough, because who plays this character? Controller players play this character. Nobody else does. And like, Vivian's whole thing is that she will like burn these tanks. She will walk them down. Is this
To be
not
devil's advocate,
insane
I play
to do
Vivian.
the Vivian game? You play Vivian.
Yeah,
know
Vivian's
if I
pretty
wanna
fun
talk to
still.
you.
Like, yeah. Listen, I'm a guy who plays everything and anything, anytime. I do like Vivian here. I mean, it's just a very simple choice here, right? You just got big tanks where you really
Whoa!
wanna- There's no Tyra,
Big
but
apple in the
ooh,
back line.
yeah, I think things are moving very much faster than Vivian.
Well,
Like, we got ult
I mean,
save
hey,
on-
she's
yeah.
got the boost speed. She got the
Yep.
kill in the close. So,
Mhm.
I mean, this is kind of the difference between the two teams. Like, Crimes have these nice shield rolls right past the Azan. Will dash out the wall. Ash is in trouble here. We'll have to try and run out the Eevee. The Eevee's making the difference. Instantly hooked by the Makoa. Our team is so low, does get traded out, but we are getting to the second choke. Slightly late Lilith ult. Let's be generous here. Another wall from this Azan. This galvanizes
Yeah.
good work.
I just want to say, I think that Damba Gord there was a bit of a mistake. Damba Gorded himself full HP. He could have got his Fernando out there. It was a big mistake, I think I just saw.
Not great, but what isn't great for NA's finest is that they're down maybe their best ult, and Crimes are looking to reset after their Eevee gets first pick. Another hook. This time it misses. The Ashe will dash out. And he's Finest looking for more, though. Half Shell goes down, instantly evaporated. There's the record coming through from the Vivian, but the long reload animation, she's trying to waddle out. Not going to get out. And it's going to be 3 kills for the Lex. And Nando chooses the quicker option to get back to spawn. And NA's Finest not going to commit to the full hold. They are just going to take a safe drop.
Yeah, that's the difficult one with this map. It's just a very long corridor, along 3 corridors as well. So you almost got to pick right there in the middle. You've got to completely commit or go back. And they've done the right thing there, not staying mid. They've just gone back and decided to protect the choke.
I've got a literal hill decline for Crimes. Again, like, how are you going to get value out of this Ashe and Eevee? That, like, it really is the difference between your two comps. You're matching the co-op, force out the ult already, but I mean, once again, this is Eevee getting first pick, not having a great time. I mean, listen, playing flanks into Death Ball is tricky. You're pushing into 5 people all the time. It's not easy, but we have 5 seconds left in the round. NA's Finest going deep. Are they going to get anything? The Nando is still alive. They need touch. Not even worth going for. And something else that I'm going to notice in the top right here is this Eevee's not Wormhole. This is no globe Eevee. Look at that ult charge. So
I second this Eevee. Yeah, honestly, I'm going to be the guy who has a different opinion most of the time.
Too.
I'm not a big fan of Wormhole. Wormhole is the safe option, of course. You go in, you go out, it's fun, but I feel like if you can do it correct, there is very much a benefit to not playing Wormhole in the sense that you just play like any other normal champion. You poke as a normal blaster would, and Snow Globe has very good utility in itself. You just get an ult in half the time, you can use it very much as a soft CC, as a hard CC in the same time, and let your team play off things. Even for the damage of Over the Moon, which is what I personally like to do, it's very good. You can 2-shot or 3-shot where you normally wouldn't. So I feel like where it's necessary, you get a bit more use out of not playing Wormhole. So I like the bravery of people not doing that.
It's definitely a more unique choice, but again, not the safest one. Is the third fight where this Eevee's got first pick. Not a great look. NA's Finest captured mid by the whole Wild. Fear comes in. Not really gonna have much follow-up. NA's Finest capping all the while. That's another tool down for Times to Humanity. That's another character down for Times to Humanity. They lose their Vivian. That's their main source of damage. Nando's gonna have to go for touch. And everybody is going to look at him. Look how fast this man gets evaporated. No, he's even gonna go for touch. It's the Eevee. Do they have it? The Eevee does trade her life for it. This Eevee's KD is getting absolutely ruined now. The 5 stack from NA's Finest on the objective. A little silly to say, but I mean, it's working damn well. Because
they just got separated. Yeah. As I said, yeah, it's looking to me like red team is just gonna ult and ult and ult and not have too much to follow it up. It's just CC after CC. And again, it looks to be the right thing. Yeah.
Okay, and here we see maybe the more. Okay, so lose 4 fights, win the 5th one. Is that like how Snow Globe works? Is that the answer here, or? It's not working out so well, but I mean, it worked that time, I guess. Already 50% to another one. The hook is gonna get healed. It looks like they find a really awkward spot for this fight to be happening, and Eevee's gonna get the Dom heal. Maybe looking for the Lilith, who does dodge one shot. The sword, Fear, not enough. She will go down, traded out though. But NA's Finest down to support. Payton isn't able to get out though. 3 people alive for Times to Humanity. NA's Finest, the Death Ball. Just look at them through the map, dude. They're all just stacked up on each other, and it's so hard. It's genuinely just so hard to break that.
You know what's interesting? I've not seen too much Death Ball, but Death Ball in a meta like this very much would work, honestly. You got picks like Lilith, you got a load of picks that are good like Grover that just support AoE healing. Like, I'd like to see somebody Death Ball at one point.
What is HP?
Yeah, I think it'd be very good.
Healing there. That's insane. Crimes, they will get poked out here. Here goes for the Tire ult, painting the walls red. Nothing's really gonna be found though. The walls are a nice coat of paint on them, but it is the Ashe who does get the trade on the Flex. I'm not sure how that quite happened. Maybe a boop. But these trades do favor Crimes. A bit more of a defender's advantage. Toa Shield not gonna get much. This is the hook. That's unfortunate.
Flying. Look at that. Oh, he's missed the shot though. He's missed 2. Oh, but he's got him.
He's fine. We're gonna get a slow cleanup here from Crimes. NA's Finest maybe a bit more split up on that fight than you'd like them to be, especially as against the Lilith, right? That's sort of your advantage. This Koa, this Lilith, they get the Snow Globe. I mean, it's kind of funny considering Snow Globe Eevee, but like they almost it's like the Snow Globe, you know? It's like you got the Swarm on the bottom and the half shell on top. It's a little Snow Globe. So I think they need to pack up their bubble. They need to pack up the ball. And they need to move the ball somewhere. But if they just like they can't split, but this touch is
Me
gonna be
looking
really
at their
awkward.
drafts, yeah, it's the easy way to do it. But again, it seems to be working more now. I think again they're gonna have to change their approach going in. Again, we got a 2-2 now.
That's interesting. 2 people looking at the Eevee there, so no support for the front line. In Crimes, okay. So generally the way you break Death Ball, right? Usually the way you break Death Ball is with your ults. Because they're very strong all the time. Then you hit them with a power spike. You say, like, okay, we don't care that you have shields. We have our ults, right? They have 5. They have 5 ults. It's going to be easier, especially late game, right? More caught, more wrecker. But like you gotta find a way to get values out of the ults from Crimes. Holy Vivian damage.
Easy, but not completely easier. Because again, it's just going to be CC after CC. They need to confirm with their own damage, which they've only got Vivian for.
Yeah, the Vivian this one, you know, is going to be a bit harder.
Yeah.
No ults just yet. Just moving a point. Ash does dash in, maybe looking for something. Not quite. And he's fine. There it is, finally on the back line. EV ult on the Azon as well. Going to catch him out. He's going to try and get out. Not enough. Melted by the Vivian. Ash on the back line. So everybody. The EV is soaring through the air. He's going to kind of kill on the legs. And they have 30% as NA's Finest have to leave. And the Eevee, I mean, hey, listen, man, the Snow Globe's starting to pay off late game. Clear looks for a play, but the Nando ult to save the Vivian, get her out of there. That is so good. This retake from NA's Finest is going to be really difficult. Only Lilith ult to work with, and they have to touch now.
Right now, that is very much the play. Looks like they've got it though, just about, but he's dropped in the process. They've only got Mako and his half shield to live this.
They have Colt, but they have another Snow Globe.
Vivian, she's shredding. You asked why Vivian, this is why.
This is why Vivian. And look at those heads.
Yeah, look at that. It's a bit sad she's not with position, but it seems like it's working for now. Crimes are gonna get this, but yeah, Crimes have got this. Very nice.
They got 5 ults. They use 5 ults. They get them in. 30, cut, and dry. They're looking for the fight with the Eevees. Blinks behind him. Does end up getting
that was an interesting fight. That looked like a controller fight. She just didn't turn until the end. But when she did, she got it.
So, a little bit of a 4v4.
Yeah, I'm not hating on controllers. I'm just saying what I see, you know.
Fair enough. I am. But, anyway. So, right, is right. We're looking to the Ash Dash, just the signal, the go button. He's gonna find his stabs.
Got it! Wow, that one's crazy. This is an example.
Was that the Azon knockup?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Galvanize! You just won the fight for the other team.
Unfortunate. That's the thing. Wow, that's quite crazy. Wow. Azon felt like a bit of an Atlas there, where you double edge to do something, and it ends up going back in your favor. Yeah.
Wow, that's insane. And now Crimes are on the verge of winning the game 2 here. They have the ults, and his Finest just building up to that Lilith ult right now. Crimes have tools ready to go. Wombo maybe looking for a fear. Eevee's fighting on the left. He's going to get the heal. Nando's looking to get burned here. He's going to be fine. Lilith ult gets popped really early. Crimes have the option to reset. They lose anyone on the reset? They do not. No ult spent. Now the death ball from Crimes. Everyone on the right side taking a little bit of NA's Finest, but Eevee on the off angle. Look how much space they're pulling back, because Vivian has so much area to just refire from. Nando does get
was making a mistake standing where he is. Like, there's no real push from that. Yeah. I think he needs to stand on his feet now. Yeah, that's what's going to help him. Yeah.
Goes down. Test the fear. They're gonna burn him right down real quick. The Nando will hit C9s off the objective.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah.
We're going to game 3.
Yep. I think that was really down to not using the comp the best they could. Honestly, they have the tools to just sit in one spot and really control it. But McCowan and offlane on his own really doesn't work. Literally, they just ignored him at the end.
Like at the end where they walked through face, right? They walked up the stairs and everyone turned back from the Eevee. They just gave up so much space for no reason. And Crimes, I think, did a really good job of taking advantage of that, because you see an Eevee with no blink, no soar, you're like,
Yeah.
she's dead.
It's very interesting a
But
comp like that
yeah,
really just got through that. I think it's a big
yeah.
misplay on NA's part on the way they played. Or EU, sorry.
Hmm.
Just having the
It's
Mako out there, it's just I don't know.
it's
When you've got
tough.
these sort of things, yeah, you've got to sit together. Again, I've talked about this before where I think you've got to keep them together. You've got to not have people going in on their own or trying to do things and protect on their own. It just
It's tough.
becomes a very difficult game to play when you're on your own, where you can't have things like you did in
Echo
before and
at
like
the
the
end.
burst meta. They can just go and do what they want and just get away with it. That time's gone
Yeah.
now. I think you've got to very much center your comp around comboing or doing stuff together, and I didn't see any of that there.
No, but Crimes did that pretty well, because I think the synergy there, like everything sort of happened at the same time. The Vivian walk forward, the Eevee storage to the backline, the tanks took their lanes. I think the timing was really good. The timing was just really good from Crimes. And I think if you're NA's finest, right, you've been picking these more console oriented DPS. I think maybe you look to go back to more the flanking style. I think the Death Ball didn't. It worked fine early. Death Ball kind of does that just inherently, though. So I think they broke your Death Ball. Your Death Ball fell over. Good try, right? It worked early game, but at this point, like, I think what you want to see out of the draft next, I don't know, maybe what you want to see from Crimes, but I think the NA's adaptation there, we did really well. We did really well with these flanky things. Let's go
Yeah,
back to the flanks.
my point's been more on like the choice of their ultimates and how they're getting out of the game. I think
Hmm.
Crimes got out of it. They got a free get out of
Hmm.
jail card there. I think from the way the other comp played it. Again,
Yeah,
you say that Death Ball fell apart. I don't think they even got it together in the first place. I don't
that's
think
true.
they realized they could actually just sit on the point, and it probably would have worked. Honestly, they had
Yeah.
two shields to rotate. They got Lilith who can just spam a load of heals in one place. And again, it's not like a
Like,
Grok where you have to worry about the totem
mhm.
being destroyed, right? They
Like
just didn't do it. They tried to play in a more traditional two-lane thing where their comp doesn't really gain from that.
I'm just confused how they go to the point with Azan Ruckus. And then when you actually have Death Ball, no, we're gonna play split. We're gonna